In what ways are cyber schools the same as or different from traditional schools? Think about it for a minute. Do you have any ideas? The essential questions for this lesson are: what does a typical day in cyber school look like? How is a cyber school the same as or different from a traditional school? By the end of the lesson, you'll have some tips for how to be successful at Achievement House Cyber Charter School. Let's first look at ways that schools are similar or the same. In cyber school, as well as the traditional school, you'll get grades for the work that you do. The better the work, the higher the grade. You'll also have to do state testing. That's a requirement. It's also a requirement to go to school. Your attendance is counted in both schools. There's an academic calendar. In brick and mortar and cyber schools, we generally go to school from September to the end of June, and you have the months of July and August off. And your teachers will have a schedule. There'll be certain times where you can reach your teachers. In a brick and mortar, that schedule was from about 7:30 to 2:30 every day. I have an asterisk next to this because in cyber school, your teachers will have a schedule, but it won't necessarily be just 7:30 to 2:30, and we'll talk about that on the next slide. Now let's look at some of the differences between a cyber school and a traditional school. And these are probably some of the reasons why you've chosen Achievement House Cyber Charter School. We have a flexible schedule that's set by you. You can do your schoolwork whenever you want. If you work during the day, you can do your schoolwork late afternoon, in the evening. Or if you're a night owl, we have lots of students who do their work in the late night. You'll have the option to attend resource centers. If you need some help from a teacher or an aide, you can go into a resource center and do your work. Communication can take time, but it can happen outside the regular school day. Remember I said your teachers will be available outside that 7:30 to 2:30 traditional time frame. You'll have lots of options on how you can communicate with your teachers. You'll be able to use email, BBIM chat. You can call them on their cell phones or text with them. Our instruction and educational resources are available 24/7. Like I said, you can do your schoolwork at any time during the day or during the week. Our lessons are available on the weekends and late night. And this last one's a biggie. You are the primary monitor of your work. In a cyber school, you need to keep track of what you have to get done. In a traditional school, you may have seen your teacher on a daily basis, and they can remind you of the work that needs to get done. In a cyber school, you have to keep track of what needs to be done and what you've finished. There's nobody going to be there every single day telling you what you need to do. We'll learn a little bit more about this on the next slide. Now that you've chosen a cyber school, let's talk about what you need to do. The teachers are here to teach. The teachers are here to create instructional materials, provide live instruction, and to assist you. But remember, you are responsible for your learning. You need to set a schedule and force yourself to stick to it. And we'll have a couple of lessons here in Virtual Foundations to talk about how to stick to that schedule. You have to be the one to access the materials and give everything your best effort. Remember I said everything's available 24/7, so it's always there for you to access. You have to monitor your work completion, which means you have to make sure you get the job done. And here's a hint. If you use your suggested due dates to pace yourself, you'll stay on task. You need to reach out for help if you're stuck or you need help. Remember I said there's lots of different ways to communicate with your teachers. You need to take advantage of that if you feel like you need some help. And you need to communicate important information to teachers and staff members. You have a guidance counselor, a homeroom teacher, and all of your subject area teachers. So if you need help, there's lots of people you can communicate with to get some assistance. Let's look at a typical day in cyber school. You want to go to your live classes. If you can't attend a live class, you can make time at the end of the day to watch the recordings of a live class. You want to make sure to check your Moodle course pages every day to see what needs to be done. So that includes going to your Math Moodle course page, your English course page, Social Studies, Science, and any special subjects to see what's posted in Moodle for you to complete that day. You should complete your assignments, which will include video lessons, homeworks, or any projects. You should visit Cyber Cafe. We have subject area cyber cafes where you can go in and talk to live teachers and get some help with your assignments. You also want to complete any assessments. An assessment would be quizzes or tests that are posted in Moodle. And make sure to contact your teachers as frequently as possible. You can use BBIM, email, call them, or even visit them at a center. You should come to our Achievement House Moodle homepage every day. Think of this as a bulletin board with all the most important things posted. When you log in here, you'll see video announcements. You'll see written announcements that you should check out every day. Here's our access to the Cyber Cafe, subject area cafes. Very important is your student email button in the top left-hand corner. You should check email every day. And go to My Courses. My Courses is where you can find all of your class Moodle pages. In addition to under My Courses to find your course pages, you can also scroll down on our Moodle page and you'll find the buttons with lots of useful information, and then all of your courses will be listed here by name with the teachers' names and when your live classes meet. You want to make sure you make it a record of when your live classes meet so you don't miss those classes. Some important information on our buttons is the attendance button, pod date information, and school calendar information. These buttons will all help you stay organized. Let's do a quick check of what we've learned so far. What should be on your daily to-do list at Achievement House Cyber Charter School? Your assignments, your live classes, quizzes and tests, check email, or all of the above. If you said all of the above, you'd be right. You should be doing all of these things on a daily basis. And things I'd like you to remember is please check your email every day and stay on BBIM while you're working. If you stay on BBIM while you're working, you'll have access to your teachers if you have any questions. And it's a great way for your teachers to reach you. Let's review our objectives. You should be able to answer the question, what does a typical day in cyber school look like? And how is cyber school the same and or different from a traditional school? If you can't answer those questions, you should watch this video again. I hope by now you have a few tips on how to be successful at AHCCS.